Welcome back to Pro League here. Back to Starcraft. We got Prime versus StarTale-yoe here for actually the third to last match of round 2 here in Pro League.
Yeah, man. This should be, I think this is more of a match for honor more than anything else, Valdez. These teams not really fighting for much else. They don't have any chance of getting to the playoffs this round. But, you know, they can still earn points for the end of the year, sort of tally. And, I mean, they can just get some good games and, you know, they can showcase their matches. And what else are they going to do in their practice house except practice for Pro League?
Yeah. I feel like they should have tried to use some more of the players that need some practice. In fact, I think like you're saying, this is kind of just like for pride is pretty true because both teams kind of using some good players actually on both sides of things. I think Prime is really, they're bringing Zoun, and that's about it in terms of like rookie players, you know?
Yeah,
because they got Creator, Yoda, and Youngshik.
Well, I guess they're not bringing out Tara or Tara Departure's an MVP now anymore. So yeah, I don't know.
And then like Curious comes back here. He's been around forever. Like he doesn't need more practice.
Yeah, he just needs to get back in form. But oh well. I mean, it looks like they both came out here wanting to win more than anything else.
For sure. And so we should see a decent game. Like I said before the break, I think both of these teams are very well matched, evenly matched up against each other. We're going to start things off with the PvP. It's going to be Zoun versus San.
Should be interesting, Valdez. Should be interesting. San obviously coming off for a lot of PvP losses in his last Pro League match. And yeah, he also lost pretty horribly to Saxry in Code 8 recently.
Yeah,
so not in the best of forms, man.
Got slapped around, but he's going up against Zoun. I don't know, man. I know you voted for Zoun. I went for San personally. I think he's just got more experience. I think Zoun might just get a little bit nervous. He looked decent against Departure.
Yeah.
Like he just barely won against Departure, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
To be honest, to PvP, I think like either of these players could win, but when I had to put it on the line here, I did go for San.
Well, look at the other matchups we have. Youngshik versus Pet should be pretty interesting as well. That's actually two pretty good players. Yoda versus Curious, and then Creator versus Leenox to close things out. All, you know, pretty exciting matches. None of these throwaway games, none of these players that are completely like inexperienced, except for maybe Zoun. But Zoun is also, he's been going the distance in these online qualifiers as well. You know, he's been mixing it with CJ Hero and stuff. Granted, they were pretty one-sided games in the Star League qualifiers.
I think he took one game off of Creator, right? In the wild card matches.
Oh yeah, he might have done that.
Yeah. Creator got slapped around by Classic recently. I think it was 0-3 in Star League.
Yeah, that was a beatdown, man.
Yeah. Well, guys, seeing the team rankings here once again.
-16, -13.
Yeah. Yep. With the warning to StarTale-yoe.
Oh, you naughty
San,
boys.
he paused the game without pressing PP.
Oh, that's right. So does that mean they're technically -14?
Maybe.
Or
maybe they already factored it in.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Could be it, actually. But Prime still bottoming it out with -16. Pretty rough.
This is to decide which team is going to end up 0-7 and which one is going to end up 1-6.
See, this is why they brought out the top guns for this one, man. They cannot afford to lose this because this is like a shame match.
Yeah.
Whoever loses is shamed.
Well, look at this. Dark actually did move up. I think we actually just got the old winners ranking at the end of the other one because Dark did move. He was the only player to really move on this list from last match. He did win his game against, why is this escaping me right now? The Terran?
The Terran player, Guilty.
Yeah, Guilty. That's why it was escaping me.
Yeah. Well, there you go, man. So Dark making his way in there.
I actually got a tweet on Twitter about April 16th is actually the Sail Disaster, the ferry that actually crashed.
Yeah, we shouldn't have forgot that one.
Thoughts go out to them.
Yeah,
once again, anniversary coming up here.
Pretty rough. All right. Well, we'll be jumping into this game momentarily, waiting for the StarTale-yoe player to come in here. San. Gonna go to the predictions.
And why am I the only one for San?
Valdez.
What is going on, man?
You turn around and wink in that camera, man. Like, what's going on, brother?
I was like, I wonder who else voted for San with me. And I'm like, no. I swear this has happened to me like 3 times in the past couple weeks.
You just want the attention, Valdez.
No, man.
Yeah.
I actually thought Zoun was going to win.
Well, you know, he could win. This is going to be a pretty close match, I think. Both players feel like they're similar in skill level. Just Zoun has had a bit more success recently.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll soon find out, I'll tell you that much. He did defeat Departure in his last Pro League match, as you were saying earlier, Zoun, that is. That's something, you know, it's something, Valdez.
Something very, very small and nearly insignificant in my mind, to be completely honest.
But the bigger thing is here that he has been going the distance in Code, Star League, and Kesper Cup qualifiers. Like, he's not bombing out round one, man. He's going through these pretty far.
It's true.
There he is. He's actually a really handsome kid, too.
Yeah. Very young kid. He's probably like, could even be like 1998, man.
Whoa.
Depends really on how young he really is. 1998 would make him 16 or maybe 17?
God, I'm so old.
Yeah, 17 if he already had his birthday.
That's crazy. I can't even believe people of that age.
People that age are playing StarCraft right now in the pro level mode.
I don't know, man. Well, here's San, 3-6 this season, 2-3 against Protoss. Likes Pump It from the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
Decent song.
I'm really banking on this kid to get my percentage up, man.
Well,
it's never good when you vote for one person and he just loses.
it's going to be pretty
or
shameful.
One person,
We're all going to be looking at you.
Yep.
We're going to be looking at you and laughing, Valdez.
Look at the camera on me after the game with my head in my hands, just crying.
Yep.
Well, guys, we're going to jump into this game number 1. It's a PvP. We're going into Vaani Research Station. Let's jump into the game right now. Up here in the north, in the red for Prime, it is Zoun.
Down here in the south for StarTale-yoe, it is San. The glasses Protoss.
I don't know what that said, Moonglade. I was doing my best. I missed it.
Can't get him all, man.
Yeah.
It was the one that got away. What? 0 win history. I don't even know what those are down there, man.
Pro League from
Pro
2009 and 10 and 2010-11, round 2 and round 3.
Oh, I see. See, what we can take from that, Valdez, is absolutely nothing.
Pretty much, man. I'm glad you said it.
Well, here we go here. We can at least see the APMs of these players. Sticking around 300 for both. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Looks like both players going to put down a gateway.
No.
That's the way you start things off.
No Nexus fast here, Valdez. That doesn't happen in PvP, man.
No. Not quite. Looks like Zoun was looking for a proxy. Just a little proxy. We've been seeing a style, especially on these bigger maps, where you just try to deny your opponent's pressure very early on, and then you put down a Nexus and a Robo, and you try to defend off of getting out fast Immortals while your opponent goes Blink, and you just, you know, hold the ramp, buy time with Mothership Core, and get out like a couple Immortals, and you just survive, and you get out your Nexus faster, and you have the better tech. Classic did that like 3 times in a row against Creator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty solid style. Nice defensive style. Really puts you ahead composition-wise in the mid-game.
There's always that fine line you got to walk where it's like, you know, you got to make sure you're getting those Immortals out, and you got to make sure his Blink isn't hitting before you think. And you make sure your Mothership Core doesn't die and stuff like this in the right place. PvP can be ruthless at times. You get caught out on the map, like, and your Mothership Core goes down, and you just get screwed. 2 probes passing in the night.
I guess you can call it nighttime if it's Fog of War.
Yeah, kind of. But then it's like nighttime on every map. Where the
Well, it is space, isn't it? So
yeah.
what is
You
that?
know what? That actually makes sense.
Where does the light come from? I guess there would be stars nearby, maybe.
Yeah, I would assume so. Did Zoun actually make that Zealot?
It doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah, it looks like it canceled.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's going to be Twilight.
From both players.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we might see some aggression. Look at this. Probes going the same way as well. The top, that midsection, going to be kissing. Nope. They just probably put down some pylons near each other.
This is always very interesting because Twilight versus Twilight oftentimes leads to Blink versus Blink, but sometimes one player goes for DT tech, and then if the other player that's going Blink doesn't go for a safe robo, he can just lose the game.
Yeah, or he can be super aggressive with the Blink as well and actually push the issue. And if there's not enough to defend for that DT player, he just dies before DTs are
We've
out.
seen that too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Pretty close one.
Oh, DTs for Zoun.
Oh, so we are going to go to that sort of game. But look at this. Scouting. Mothership core.
But where's that DT?
It's
in
to
the mid.
It's to the mid right. Sorry, mid left. Very sneaky position, I believe, at least.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's 2 gateways.
I'm going to cheat and lid.
All right,
Sorry.
man. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, Dark Shrine coming up at the center left of the map.
That is the 10 o'clock position, Valdez.
Yeah, you guys can see that. Mothership core going to come for another pass, and
Not going to find too much. Going to take some damage instead.
he's making a safe robotics facility.
Wow, that's really smart.
This is what you got to do.
Yeah, I like this. It looks like he's blocking that ramp as well. So he should be pretty safe for the moment, at least. Oh, I
I'm
like
going to
this.
go for a quicker Nexus.
So look at Zoun, man. I love this guy's style already. He's playing. He's on point with what he's got so far. This Mothership core might actually run into the Dark Shrine at this rate. Oh no,
It's heading that way?
no, it's going straight down now. So
Okay.
just off, unfortunately. Here come the DTs in just a moment's time. Look at that, plenty of sentries there to deflect it. Robo's
totally
about to finish as well. So I think Zoun's simply going to have to make one and transition hard into the next step.
Yeah. And from this, I mean, you can't really use either of these techs. Like, well, I guess Zoun does have the blink, whereas Zoun does not.
Oh. What?
Zoun, he's got that observer about to pop, so he's like, okay, you can come on my ramp. Oh, he's actually going to force field him in. Very nicely done. He's got to get it.
He's got to get it. It's going to get away.
Ooh, nice block.
Oh, what?
Zoun's on point today, man. Yeah, go Zoun.
All right, all right, all right. Not bad, not bad. Immortal's coming out now for Zoun. His expansion will be slightly ahead.
Zoun going for double observer. You rarely see that in PvP, actually, just because that robo uptime is just so important.
Yeah.
He's making a third observer.
I guess he's
What?
super paranoid, man. He wants one at every base and one to scout, it seems. Oh.
That's like almost too many.
Well, it kind of really evens out the investment that Zoun made in that Dark Shrine as well, right?
Yeah, nearly.
Simply going to resume this game. No easy wins here for either player. They go into that nice and juicy Immortal mid-game.
Yeah. I think with all those observers, like you were saying, he's just going to keep one at each base and just make sure he doesn't die to any DTs.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to take any damage.
Like,
that's what that's saying to me.
Even a Warp Prism drop with DTs could do a lot here because that natural is so hard to defend.
Yeah. Zoun going to get his own little scout with this hallucination. He's going to see the robotics bay timing. Both these guys very even on their +1 upgrades, their forges, but Zoun immediately puts down his own robo bay once he sees the bay of Zoun. Looking to catch up here. Observer was pointing at the probes. I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, he got like a slightly faster Nexus, but he's still behind on probes. I guess maybe he's saying like, oh, he's not constantly making probes.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, actually. This is actually a good point out from the Observer. 46 to 40 currently. And, I mean, the supply count is also quite impressively different at this point, 75 to 62. So I wonder if that DT investment just really put him that far behind. Kind of impressive. Now Zoun is going to go for this greedy third. I'm kind of worried for him because he is already behind in supply. Same time, though, we are actually seeing that third from Sand.
You know, I kind of like it, actually. Just, we've been seeing a lot of PvPs these days, just both players just trying to be as greedy as possible, and usually the player that's more greedy in the mid-game gets just way too far ahead and they win the game. It's also very interesting on this patch with the Tempest nerf. Well, hold that thought. These Stalkers are actually going to be caught out here. They do have Blink, but he should be able to get maybe one. Oh, we'll get away. But after the Tempest nerf, you just can't make Tempest in this matchup anymore. They're just not nearly as good.
Yeah.
You can't use them to deal with Colossi, so oftentimes it goes back to like Wings of Liberty days where it's like, okay, make 9 Colossi.
Oh my god.
And add some Archons and charge Zealots and try to kill your opponent.
Well,
and
that's just
try to get far ahead, you know?
Yeah, that's a real shame. Kind of go back to that, the Arc Wars of Colossi.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going that way as well. Both players just going for the Colossus at this point. How's the DT being warped in there? Gonna be looking for trouble.
Let's see how this investment turns out.
Charge lots also being upgraded before Sans.
Blink for San, and slightly later range. DT gonna slip by. It looks like he wants to go for probes mainly here. San, he's got 3 observers, but he also has to get in position, you know? He needs to have it there at that third base, make sure he takes no losses.
All right, well, he could probably suicide down a few probes, but there's an observer right there.
All right. He's going to be pushed back after 2 kills. Not bad. Not bad. Where's a small pull? We see a War Prism being made now. For, it looked like Zoun, yeah. May try to go for those DT drops. I doubt he's aware of the very high number of observers that San has made.
Yeah, but even at this point, 4 DTs in that base that is completely, essentially undefended. Could do so much damage, especially if he warps into DTs, then warps in more Zealots afterwards. Well, look at this.
Yeah, you were talking about no defense. I think Zoun should have gone for the main. I don't think there's a cannon there. Well, there is one here at the natural, or the back door, I guess you can call it.
Gonna force it to warp in. Oh. Oh, gonna throw it away. Looks like he's warping in.
Some Zealots.
Some Zealots.
Okay.
Gotta be careful not to invest too much because he can risk a pretty hefty counter attack as well.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. It even gets scouted.
Oh.
If you get some Blink Stalkers over there, looks like they're not in position, but...
Gonna let it go for now.
Observer actually passes by. I don't even know if he noticed.
I don't think he did. Wow. Oh, another...
he's making some cannons.
Okay.
Actually protecting it behind 2 pylons. That's really nice. It's going to be so annoying for Zealots to get in there and actually hit that cannon.
Yeah, one of the strengths in this map is for sure for Protoss is this natural at the back, and the War Prism just can do so much work there. So hard to defend. And man, that's a pretty big Colossus count at this point.
Yep. This is what it comes down to. It looks like San just slightly got that second Robo out faster, so he's pumping out 2 Robo Colossi before Zoun is. Zoun did just get that second Robo, so he's going to start now. But again, it really does come down to that first fight. It's usually just like in PvP, you build up these giant death balls, and you got to get that arc with the Colossi, or army control is very important.
Yep.
Positioning, time warps.
Here we go. Nice little spread here from San, though he doesn't know where he's going. That drop from the War Prism does some work and could really split up the army. Gives Zoun a way into that third base.
Look at this. The Chrono Boost that's being used on this +3 right now for San is pretty huge.
Damn, up 20 supply is San right now. Zoun's going to start making units. It looks like he's going to warp in a ton from this War Prism.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there
2
we go.
cannons and 4 Blink Stalkers is not going to be enough.
No way, no how. 3 cannons, actually, but still not enough. That is so many Zealots. It's going to give Zoun the chance to go for that third base if everything gets pulled back from San.
Oh my god. Looks like he's not going for an attack at the same time, but he's getting a really good trade here, Zoun is.
Yeah, getting a lot of probes as well. 8 probes already gone down.
Oh, and he's pulling some of these Colossi back even. Oh, focusing down the War Prism. He does lose that, though. Bit of a mistake there. I think he should have just ran away with that one.
Well, I mean, he's still down a lot in supply, though. 20 supply down.
Yeah.
He did get a bunch of probes, but it wasn't really enough.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he warped in like 13 zealots or something, as well as the 4 that were in the warp prism.
Wow, going for the gold as well. So many Archons.
I was saying before, going greedy is usually pretty good, and I think even Zoun is going for that gold.
He's looking for it, and these players are playing so similarly.
Yeah. Like you were saying with that Tempest nerf, I'm not really sure how good that is for the matchup, to be honest, because like we just have these super long, drawn-out games where it's who's going to make more Colossi than the other guy and who's going to take more risks and get away with it kind of matchup, and it's not the most exciting, to be honest. Right now, in terms of numbers, it looks like Zoun is ahead 1 Colossus and 1 Archon, but he's down 11 Zealots. Or now 12.
Well, I wonder if that's going to make that much of a difference when you look at it, like, so many Colossi as well as Archons.
You get, like, one swipe out with your Colossi and the Archons?
Everything's going to die in, like, a second, except for the Archons. He's going to try and control this gold base, but I don't think he's going to get the cancel at all. Maybe get a cannon. Okay. Well, Zoun is up. A gold base for a little while at least. Yeah, man, look at this Colossus. Well, this matchup got silly.
Yeah. You know what? This map is kind of okay when it comes to it because, you know, there is room for some drops and you can like get some decent arcs with your Colossi, but at the end of the day, do we all want to see that? That's the question.
That is the question.
Like, look at this. That's what we were talking about. The Zealots all get
evaporated.
destroyed.
Yeah. We're seeing shield upgrades from both players as well. Zoun slightly ahead.
Dark Shrine going to be made by Zoun.
Wow, they're just throwing away their results at this point.
Yep. They're beginning to realize that, you know, it all comes down to that one big fight. You need the big expensive units to win that one fight. And that's about it. It seems like Zoun using his bank for cannons, whereas Zoun using his for a bunch of gateways. I kind of like...
I like the gateways more.
Zoun's approach better, yeah.
Yeah. Makes a lot more sense. Ooh. Oh.
There's going to be a lot of cannons there in due time.
Yeah. Very smart. From Zoun.
Yeah. Still liking the army here from Zoun.
There's an observer in there, mate. Oh, he's going for the probes, maybe?
Yeah, looks like it.
That's cheeky. But
at this point, as we reach the point in time where we get closer and closer to that big one fight, maybe you don't really need those probes, you know?
No, you don't.
Especially at the gold.
Not for this big Death Bowl fight that's going to happen.
Yeah. Instead, just like sacrifice those probes. Be like, hey, take them, you know? You just wasted a bunch of DTs and a bunch of gas, and you got rid of some of my probes, so...
Another big weapon. Man,
thanks.
Pure Archon Colossus, and...
It's really going to come down to the big fights here as well.
Yeah, well, it looks like Zoun's going to get away with his base. Very bold move there.
Oh, man.
Zoun's going to be careful. The army's kind of split up at this point.
He needs to back off right now, though. He gets the Nexus, which is pretty huge. Now he needs to back off. It's all about the positioning. Looking to come in here and get a Time Warp. It's kind of just zoning him out. Here we go, guys. It's a giant fight. The Colossi of Zoun are in a better place, I think.
Yeah, I think I like Zoun's position a lot better. A lot of Archons still remain. Plus, these Immortals going to destroy Colossus like nothing else. And looks like Valdez's prediction is going to go down in flames.
Warping coming from behind. Tons of Zealots coming in, but they're facing so many Colossi. It just doesn't seem to matter.
Wow, so one-sided. I can't believe that fight. Just the positioning, I guess it was more than anything else. And that Archon count for Zoun.
Yeah, nice try there with the DTs, but you're not creator, son.
Yep.
Sorry to tell you.
You're not creator, and he's not Zest. Slumped Zest, so no way that's going to happen.
So, yeah, there's your big fight, guys. That's going to be it. Zoun's going to take game number 1, and I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight. GG. Well done. Going to take the win here for Prime, getting them ahead 1-0.
Very nicely done from Zoun. He's definitely looking like a promising up-and-comer, especially for Prime. They need all the help they can get, man. Could be their way out of the last place position.
Yeah.
You know
I don't
who
know,
else?
man. That match was just, to be honest, not that interesting. That buff like really takes away like some of what you can do towards the end.
Yeah, definitely kind of streamlined the mirror match just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Made it a little bit like innovative, I guess, and interesting.
It's kind of just like, I don't know. I can't even tell really what Zoun did wrong there. He kind of just, his Colossi weren't in the right position. They weren't spread out enough because he was just bunched up from killing that Nexus.
Yeah.
And also the time warps were absolutely horrendous. Like he actually just missed. I don't even know how that happened. And
it's just a bad positioning, and everything gets wiped out.
more stuff, like ever so slightly. It looked like actually with like he had like 10 Colossi, Zoun did, but he also had like 4 Immortals, which did some damage there.
Well, they wiped
in the
out
back of the Archons, you
They
know?
did so much damage, man.
He just had the better composition, and Zoun was ever so slightly out of position, and there you go. There's your matchup. There's your game.
Young Sheik versus Pet next, and this should actually be a pretty fun one, Valdez.
Yeah, I'm going to like this one. Myungshik's been doing really well against Zerg.
Dude, this guy is actually, I got a lot to say about Young Sheik.
He is like,
He's actually turned it on in like the last couple of weeks, man.
I don't know what's up
good.
with Prime. Like, they're like, oh, we're doing terribly. Let's come back.
Time to change things up
Yeah.
and win.
Zoun coming through. Good newcomer, like taking some decent games. Moving up from a departure up to San. We'll see who's next.
I like Zoun, man. I like this kid. I wasn't too impressed when we saw him in Star League qualifier, but now, you know what?
But at the same time, he was facing like the best Protoss in the world.
He was playing
you know?
Europe, so I guess you can't expect too much from someone. But no, he's very up and coming, man. He's very promising. I think next round we're going to see a lot more of Zoun.
Yeah, I would hope so. You know, he's definitely doing better than, let's say, Terror. Even, you know, coming out here, first couple of games, like doing pretty decently in Pro League, doing well in all the qualifiers, like you're saying.
Yeah.
He deserves a spot.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. That's the last we see of Terror, man.
Well, maybe Myungshik can really turn it on as some kind of PvZ sniper, maybe. Even like come out on decent Zerg maps, try to snipe the Zergs of the players. Creator maybe a PvP sniper. He's been getting a little bit better at PvT also.